Welcome to Grand Sumo Breakdown,
the unofficial sumo podcast
for official sumo fans.
Welcome to Grand Sumo Breakdown. This is Jake.
This is Mac.
And today we are joined by one of the newest clubs in the country. We are joined by Julian of Ronin Rikishi Sumo. How are you doing today, Julian?
Doing good, doing good.
You are messing with our nomenclature, man. You and Brandon McLeod, you're making Ronin with the unaffiliated, and now
Mac was so proud that he started calling people that didn't have an official club Ronin, and now his creation has been stolen from him.
I was so original. I was ahead of my time.
Ahead of the curve. I can't claim credit for it, to be honest. I think like the way I think Neri got us into it, because he's done, I think, way more tournaments than the rest of us have. And he's probably like our biggest guy that we got. And
like literally, right?
Out of like Malicious Grounds one with Coach Ruben, but they were kind of playing around with the name. They're like, hey, let's just have fun with this. And I was like, well, like I said, I'll back y'all in whatever y'all do, because they help us out with sambo as well. And so I was like, whatever y'all come up with, we'll back it and push it. And we're just kind of there like reinforcements. But then my guys loved it because we do kind of everything at the gym competition wise. So and just like watching it as like a casual fan, I've always loved pro sumo. I think it's for like a spectator sport, it's probably one of the best because it's real at like the casual fan level. It's really easy to see how the guy won and how he lost. And I think in other sports, like, our sports, and others like that, it's like, how did he win? Like sometimes they don't know, but good thing about sumo is that it's real clear cut who wins sometimes. Yeah.
Well, sometimes the Gyoji are blind. Sometimes the Shinpan are blind.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I get what you mean. And it's only going to be like a couple seconds long anyways, right? Like your
attention span doesn't need to be long.
Yeah.
And so they kind of made it. So they said, hey, we're Ronin Rikishi. And I was like, well, we'll just, be like the Arlington branch of y'all. And we'll just back you up at tournaments and that kind of thing, help y'all win trophies and medals, and just and I'll be honest with you, we were just like, this is another supplemental tournament for our guys to have fun with in the off season. But at our gym, we do a lot of things. Like the guys train for MMA with us. They do combat and sports sambo. They do nogi jiu-jitsu, kickboxing. But inside the gym, I've never seen more like fireworks and I would say just hype level for when the guys are in there going. And we have like, I have to post a video, but we have like 30 guys in the room, and they're all kind of, going. We don't have like Mawashis yet at that time. So we're just tying our belts and turning it backwards. I think Neri taught us that trick. Yeah, so we just tie our sambo belts and turn them backwards with a jacket or no jacket, and then have the guys go at it. And it kind of simulates it for us right now. We're getting the guys into it. But when they're getting their feet wet in it, like it was really easy for like the guys to kind of understand how to win. And it was, I guess the excitement is like the ring is real small, so you can push somebody out or throw somebody out, and everybody's watching. So it's just y'all. So every time we do it at our gym, like, have like the live rounds, man, the place sounds like it's like a venue. Everybody's screaming.
It goes absolutely ballistic.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I mean, it's been infectious. I'll say that. It's been
for sure.
Very infectious.
Yeah. Oh God. It's sumo. It's really just an exposure issue. You got the more people, like anybody who sees it is like, wow, that's actually pretty cool. Let's give that a shot.
Yeah. And you're like, man, this is awesome.
Yeah. just for some background though, your gyms are mainly sambo is your top sport. But tell us a little bit about your gyms. Like you got you and your affiliate locations that both train sambo as your primary sport. I'm sorry, my wife's not home, so my dog is just sitting behind me whining her ass off. So I'm going to turn this one over to Mac for a second. Well, I can hear it. I'm going to turn this over to Mac for a second here and go let her out. But tell us a little bit about your gym situation. Like, how did you guys? How does sambo translate into sumo? Like, where'd this whole change come from?
Gotcha. We'll do. Yeah. Well, our background, we are a sambo gym, and that's what I would say 90% of our classes are at the gym is combat sambo or either sports sambo. And then we ourselves, we actually have 2 locations. So just like where I coach, we coach at Sambo Texas HQ, which is in Arlington, Texas. Not too far from Corey, actually, just other side of town. And then Sambo Texas Dallas, which is in Irving on the Dallas line. And we run classes 6 days a week, and we even started morning classes now. But in starting that, we also do submission grappling. We do kickboxing. We train guys for MMA as well. And that's kind of like our main bread and butter. And then I know, again, we are 2 sides of a coin. So it's not just me. Ruben Cerna, he coaches Malicious Grounds. He's a friend of mine. We have our teams, train together all the time. So it's really sharpened us. We train together in the gym, and then also we compete together in different type of events. So I think that's kind of the success for us. It's not just one person coaching. We kind of have like a broad coaching staff between both of our gyms, and it really helps to translate to get the guys coaching, and then getting like the new guys hooked on board. And that's kind of like the main deal for us. And I think they mainly do BJJ. I don't think they have a striking just yet, or they used to. And they do wrestling. Ruben's really big into wrestling. They do a lot of awesome stuff with the kids. They travel all over the country, Vegas, that kind of stuff. So in like the wrestling and BJJ community, that's more Ruben's area. They do amazing stuff. Good guys, good friends. And we actually competed with them in a joint nogi tournament. So we did 2 tournaments together back to back. So that was pretty fun. The sumo at the Cowboy Cup, and then we went to the Texas Open for a nogi tournament together as well. So it's pretty fun, and it works. And that's kind of ours, is more sambo, a little bit of like MMA, kickboxing, and they do mainly BJJ.
Sure.
And with like the jacket, and then also sambo, wrestling, and then sumo as well. So it's pretty fun.
Now, I only have a cursory knowledge of sambo, but how do you feel that sambo translates into sumo wrestling? How do you think the two fit together?
Yeah, okay. Well, just like on the 2 main sport-focused ones, you have sports sambo and combat sambo. Combat sambo, I say MMA is kind of like combat sambo just because it predates it. But where it more relates is the sports sambo side of it. And on the sports sambo, it's pretty similar to, like, I would say like judo and like wrestling, and the fact that it's more of a stand-up art. So it's honestly similar to sumo. And they always say sumo is like the grandfather of judo. Well, if that's the case, judo is kind of like, like the grandfather for sambo. So in essence, we're just honestly training a more like a refined side of what we do when we do sumo. So it's all in the same wheelhouse. It's some of like the same throws where you're doing like your arm spin throw, or like your rear leg trips, or your single legs, like your ankle picks that may have originated in sumo. We do the same thing in sambo. And because we are a standing sport, the one thing that's different for us than judo, and that they want us to cross train judo a lot, but in my opinion, I would just do sambo, sumo, and like nogi for like grappling arts. And I think you'll be covered, because sambo will cover you for your jacket art.
Sure.
But as far as like having like, just a belt on, and like the belt wrestling sides of it, we do a lot of similar stuff with the belt. The only thing that we had to really kind of watch out for is where you can only like hook it in sumo, where like it's like
underneath the mawashi. Yeah.
We can also go knuckles in, like, like reverse, so have like your knuckles touching the belly.
Yeah.
And we do a lot of throws like that. So we had to really kind of tell our guys, don't do that. Just kind of only grab normal, like,
It'll hurt your wrist if you do it like that.
Well, for us, we usually catch it and we roll, and you have a lot of lifting throws that you can do that are more akin to like sambo.
Gotcha.
But yeah, the weight classes only go to like, I think 98 kg. So they're not going super, super high. They get some big boys, but rarely past like 300.
Yeah.
But
do you guys have like
really well.
Do you guys have an open weight in sumo or excuse me, in sambo?
No, it's all by weight class. I'd say our open weight is 98 kg, so it's plus 98.
Yeah.
And then in there you can get some monsters, but like I said, very rare that you'll get like a really, really, really big heavy guy. It'll be really tall, just jack dudes.
For reference, I think 98 kilograms is roughly middleweight for sumo.
Yeah, I think it's 215 pounds, I believe.
I think it's 220 is middleweight, and then 250 is light heavyweight, something like that.
Yeah.
And then past 250, it's just you're a heavyweight. We don't care how much you weigh.
Yeah, they changed it from I think it used to be 220. Yeah, because it used to be 100 kg, and they switched it down to 98.
Yeah, there was I think I don't know how far back it was, but somewhat recently the light heavyweight weight class was added to sumo later than the other divisions or something like that.
I'm still an advocate that sumo needs a 150 class, at least for like the regionals.
The featherweights.
The guys that are like 120, they're like,
I keep pretending that's my excuse. You know, I'm not big enough for to be, you know, in reasonable
I did see like the Justins go. I did see like the Justins go, and like they're about my height. I'm like, okay, I have hope. Yeah.
we short guys can just pretend, oh yeah, when you get the featherweight division, then I'll be right in there, right?
Yeah, but it translates really well to the fact that I think that it's becoming like a core curriculum at our school that we're going to really push in our programs, just for the fact that it does teach more ring awareness inside there, because our rings are a little bigger. I forget exactly how for regulations, but our rings are like maybe 5 feet bigger. So I feel like understanding like, you know, how to really stay in like the center, really throw your person out, that it really, really helps translate for sambo for a benefit for us. So at the same time, it's, you know, gonna make you stick inside for like those belt throws. So it's been pretty fun working with it.
Yeah, it can be useful for your other sports in addition to just being awesome on its own, right?
Yeah. I think if they are like a main place and they want to add a program in, I think that's, even if it's like 1 or 2 classes a week, kind of like how we're doing and how Coach Ruben is, I feel it's really beneficial. I just think a lot of clubs have not had the exposure to it, kind of like we did. You know, like once we got it, we're like, especially for us being mainly like a stand-up oriented gym, we love the takedowns, we love the big throws. We don't sit on our butt a lot, you know. For us, it's like right in our wheelhouse.
Oh yeah. If anything but the bottom of your feet touch that mat, you're done. Game over.
Yeah. And that's another thing for like sambo that's different than most sports, is like we have a total victory system, which is honestly similar to what sumo does, and the fact that you can't have anything else but the bottom of your feet touch. So if we do a takedown or throw, and we pick them up and we put them down on their back, we call it like a clean throw or a clean foot sweep, kind of similar. We automatically win the match. And sambo is an 8-point game, so it's like you have to have an 8-point majority. So for us, if you're down like, you know, 7-0, you're about to lose. If you hit a perfect technique, a foot sweep or a takedown where you pick them up and they hit their back, and you put them on their back, clean, and then you're on your feet, so you can't like be touching your partner, like holding yourself up tripod. And you do that, you do what's called a total victory, and that ends the match for us. Where judo, you can get it and roll through. So the problem is like that does work, but a lot of time the judo guys end up touching before the other person does on some of the throws, and they end up knocking themselves out for sumo. So in my opinion, sambo's better for sumo work than judo is into sumo, which is kind of funny.
That was my only concern with the takedowns, was like with some of those, like you got to go in, you got to hit the mat first to bring your opponent down. I mean, you can fight for the win in judo, but normally you got to take him down first.
It's really interesting. I'm going to keep an eye out for those things when I'm watching you guys wrestle, see if I can recognize any of that sambo in there, because it is really fun seeing where people come from. Like you can see, you know, if somebody's background is that they're like an offensive lineman in football, you know, they're all about the moving forward and the pushing, right?
Yeah.
You see guys coming from like folk style wrestling or whatever, always go for the lateral drop that ends up putting them down first on the edge or something like that. But no,
that's another thing too. What incorporates sambo that really helps it with like with, let's just say, belt wrestling sports that you use a belt, is that a lot of in like the Caucasus region close to Russia, and when they were there developing the sport, a lot of them cross-trained into it. And a lot of those, let's say like Chidoba from Georgia, they're mainly like, you grab the belt, they don't have sleeves with their jacket, and you can grab a lapel, so a lot of those jacket wrestling styles, Koresh and that kind of stuff, really helped sambo become as well diverse technique wise as it is than just opposed to like other sports. And so like the belt wrestling aspect is kind of like one thing that we love and we teach our guys too, is that you can fight long range with the grips, but some styles they like to get in and fight on the belt. So it's similar to sumo. So cool. I really love that about it.
You mentioned professional sumo earlier. You've been watching that for a long time?
Yeah, for a while now. I think like out of all the sports we watch, of course we love like MMA. We love watching sambo, but at the end of the day, I would say nothing is as organized as sumo. I don't know what it is about it. Japanese can organize like amazingly.
100%, and they can certainly make it as rigid and straightforward, and but yeah, is that kind of what made you guys think to bring sumo to your gyms, or was it seeing the amateur scene in Texas, or how do you guys actually get started trying it yourselves?
Being honest, Neri and Ruben kind of roped us into it.
Oh, sure.
And I was like, I said, well, let's give it a try. And then my guys were like, man, I don't know about this. I said, let's just spar. And the first sparring session we did, they were hooked. They were just like, man, this is all. Then we started to learn like the chirichozu, doing all the entry ceremonies. Guys are learning that. So, I think first for us was like, I know it's weird. Most guys want to go in and kind of learn the technique and the tradition, but I think that would have bored my guys. But the fact that they love competition, like my guys, they love to compete in everything. But when we started doing the competition, they loved it. And even though we had like some of the kids and some of our girls get in there and bang it out, so it was pretty fun. And after that, they were like, man, we're hooked. And I had a few bigger boys in the bigger scales, so they're like, I think this is our sport. I was like, I think so.
Yeah. You mean I don't have to cut weight? Hell yeah, I'm in.
No, you don't have to cut. Eat more.
Yeah. He's like, actually go up weight class. You good.
Yeah, exactly.
So that hooked them. And that's what's pretty funny. But that's what kind of got us into it. I think Neri had like four tournaments total. I know he competed with Mighty Eagle tournaments once a couple times.
Okay.
I don't remember which ones. But I know he was into it. And then Ruben and them got into it, if I am saying it correctly. And then they got us into it. And then
it just hit the tipping point.
And then it snowballed, snowball
just
effect.
in like infectious, it's a great sport. It's a great sport.
That's awesome.
We think so too.
We sure do.
Yeah.
Oh man. So yeah, I do want to shout out Neri, Jose, Patrick, and Ira for coming out to that Cowboy Cup. What did you guys think about? Well, I guess you mentioned Neri had competed before, but what do you guys think about the amateur scene now that you're?
I'm glad you asked that, because I was like, oh, I'm curious to know this.
Yeah, I will say this: for such a small community, y'all do work together better than including our own. I'm gonna just be honest.
Oh yeah,
including sambo. I say the sumo community does work. I would say like at the club level, they work better.
Just wait till your first national meeting. We'll talk about that later. But the club level,
don't scare them away, Jake. Come on.
Yeah. Don't worry, I have experience with that too. So it's like at the club level, there's more camaraderie amongst opposing gyms, and I guess that's just because y'all are so small that sambo's barely bigger. So I'm not I'm just saying that club wise in the area, y'all have really pulled together to put on great events. There's no like, oh, he's doing a tournament, I don't want to go to his tournament and help their gym. It's more like, let's help them grow. Sure. So we have more competitors for the next. So it's a great experience. Yeah. Our first tournament going into it. Like I said, the other thing too was like the live stream was great. like I said, I think that's very important. That's what we're ourselves working on too. Like our sambo events as well. You know, every event is a learning experience. So I understand that there were a few hiccups, but like I said, they got through it, like the scale at one point, but I've been there too myself.
Yeah.
And I think like our last tournament, I brought like a case of 9-volt batteries and brought 2 skit, but I've gone through those tribulations too in what we do. So, but where they were starting out, it was a great event. The only thing is we're going to have to rethink that Texas heat. I mean, I love Texas. Look, my family's been here before it was even named Texas, but it hit 108.
Yeah.
I had to turn the fans off because it was blowing hot air at us.
Yeah, we were literally cycling in and out ice packs from the cooler to keep the computer cold enough to keep the stream going. Like it was.
Oh yeah, I bet.
We got to do what. We got to do it like basketball season or something like that.
Yep.
You know, go like November to June maybe, and then just take a few months off for the Texas events.
Yeah, I wouldn't love like a snow tournament. That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
Hey,
maybe come on up here to Iowa or something in January. We'll get you a tournament out.
How do you feel about -20?
Yeah.
Sambo's a cold sport. Down. You know, it's a cold weather sport, so that'd be perfect for us.
Oh man, imagine being out there in the Mawashi falling down in the snow.
See, that's what I'm thinking. Like, ooh,
but
it's Mawashi with the ice and the snow, man.
Yeah, and it's funny because I had told Corey, like, you know, we compete a lot, so we're always at an event. I had 3 tents, and I had 3 purple tents, and a 300-pound cooler filled with ice. And once I walked in, I was like, man, that's like a half-mile hike.
Yeah,
to bring
that location. Oh.
Yeah, I don't blame Corey at all. I just like FitCon. What are y'all doing? Like,
no, that was a FitCon thing, not Corey.
That was
yeah,
like that
sure.
FitCon, it's like it was brutal, but great event sumo wise. And then we got a ton of free stuff because it was so hot that they didn't have as many people come out to the FitCon, so we were literally taking cases of stuff home.
Nice,
so, it was great for us. It was great.
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome. Hey, so before we go, I did have the last and most important interview question for you. What is your karaoke showstopper song?
Karaoke. I would say I like was it a Colt 45, 2 zigzags?
Oh,
okay.
Nice.
That's a good one.
All right.
Even if you're a little tipsy, you can still pull it off.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh God, no. I can't do karaoke sober, but like there's a point where I just like I desperately need to do karaoke and show these people my talent right now.
Yeah, definitely. And then I think just to touch base on like the tournament before we head out on that one, it was
oh yeah. If you have something legitimate that you wanted to share too,
otherwise we could go back to the mic. The many times the microphone has been brought out at Jake's house after a few different drinks, and we're just all in his living room going,
I think that's just part of like Japanese culture too. So I mean, I think it's just being authentic, you know.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. Next time we do we'll do lightweight, middleweight, open weight, karaoke weight, you know, and we'll have another medal for it.
Keg weight.
Yeah, anyways, sorry, go ahead on the
Yes, funny fact, my brother-in-law was stationed in Japan, and he actually had a Japanese pit bull, which he brought it back to the States, which is pretty funny because his name was Dallas, but he would drink sake. Like he would drink, I'm not sure if this was correct parenting or whatever, but the Japanese pit bull would drink sake with my brother-in-law.
Oh,
so hilarious. It was awesome. And then he lived a long life, like, you know, stress-free life. So it's good.
If you're drinking sake, all right.
Yeah, the good stuff.
That's you know, if there's reincarnation, I desperately need to just come back as a dog. I feel like I've earned that.
Yeah, you get some good you get a cat, you know, people love cats, but it's like at the same time, it's like I think I see more cats outside strays than I see dogs.
Yeah.
So,
like
you know,
like if I came back as my dog, I would just sleep all day.
Ooh.
I'd go for a nice long, they can't hear me, so I can say this word. Go for a nice long walk in the evening, and then just like go back to bed, and that's like all my responsibility.
It's a good life. It's a good life.
Now I just hope that I get your brother-in-law who would, you know, also give me some sake with that.
I was about to say, now I want the sake. Give me the sake.
Yeah, you just gotta hope to luck out with that.
Yeah,
and it's I think Patrick and my bad, getting back to the tournament. Patrick and he was last minute alternate, but he had like came that Thursday before. And I had trained him as a kid. He did youth wrestling for a long. He did wrestling for a long time, and then did nogi with us for a long time, worked some sambo, and he came back like that week before the tournament. He works a lot, so he came back, and he was like, "Hey, I want to do the tournament." I was like, well, "How much do you weigh?" He's a little bit buffer now. He was like, "I'm like 187." I was like, "Damn." I said, "Okay, you take my spot." Take my spot, hop in there. He was like, "All right, cool."
And he picked up 2 wins. So like,
yeah,
pretty
very, very. And again, and just to kind of, I wouldn't say it's his first time doing sumo. I'd say it's first time doing sumo at an actual tournament. But that kid probably got 60 matches in that week.
Oh,
like, that's how many matches we did that Tuesday and Thursday. I think we did it Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. So he got almost 60 matches as far as sumo rounds go. So he was pretty adept. The only thing that messed him up on the second time is he slipped. He's used to wearing wrestling shoes. So he's like, whoop. That kind of threw him off. But he did good the first time. But I would say he's like the perfect candidate for like a 187 or a 188 bracket.
Lightweight.
Strong, young. Like I said, guts good, good control.
Yeah,
and
dude, both of your lightweights showed up in excellent shape. They were both trucks.
Yeah,
like that
Ira's a beast. Ira's a beast. He's with Ira and Neri are out of Ronin Rikishi like HQ, and then Patrick and Jose are out of Arlington branch.
Gotcha.
And I would say we have a lot of wrestlers on our team. I think I'm not sure if Neri wrestled. I can't remember, but I know all the other guys wrestled. So Ira does we did a tournament. Ruben hosts Irish car and elbow wrestling on St. Patrick's Day. So we always go there. We compete and then we go to the pub, get drunk. So it's a great time. But one of his guys and then one of my powerlifter students that does sambo, they did a 10-minute match doing Irish car and elbow, like a wrestling tournament.
Sure.
And Ira's a beast, man. Ira's a beast.
Yeah, I do. Like I said, though, they both showed up in great shape. All 4 of your guys managed to get 2 wins, which, as far as amateur sumo goes, that is nuts. That is really incredible
really
for
good.
A first tournament, especially. Well, I mean, you mentioned Neri may have done some tournaments before, but even still, that is you guys are absolutely on the radar now. I can say that for sure.
Yeah, we love it, man. I would say it went from being like a hobby side of it for us to us falling in love with it really fast within that month.
Yeah.
And then, I could just see whenever we started, we do MMA rounds, we do kickboxing rounds at the gym, we do nogi, we do sambo, combat and sport, and nothing lights up the room and gets everybody excited like we're at a venue and people are screaming, and then watching each other chunk each other out, or that guy about to get thrown and he reverses it on the edge of the mat. I think
that's when you go absolutely ballistic. It's just how did he pull that off?
That's when I was like, man, we might have something here. I've never seen this in the gym.
Yeah.
So it was pretty awesome.
That's very cool. Hey, well, where if we got some more people in Dallas that are not already part of Dallas Sumo Club or Ronin Rikishi, where can they reach out to find you guys and learn some sumo and sambo with you?
Yeah, definitely. It just depends where they're at. We're all pretty close, but I would say we're mainly Tuesday, Thursdays, and then we also incorporated live rounds as well. I think we do more live rounds than full class, but we do class as well. And I know Ruben does it on Tuesday, Thursdays as well, like us, but they do a full class. But you can go to Ronin Rikishi _Arlington or Ronin Rikishi on Instagram and Facebook and go to find that, where I made a website for us. So we're going to be releasing that soon. Kind of have I'll show you our preview whenever I get done with it. We're just trying to get some content for it. And with this tournament, we got enough to kind of be able to slap it out and get it out there. So, but yeah, RoninRikishi.com pretty soon. And then for right now, just go to Instagram or Facebook and come check us out. Like I said, the classes are free, and that's kind of what Ruben wanted to do with the program. He's really big about trying to grow it. So we're we're on board to help y'all. And at the same time, you know, we always compete together. So if, like I said, you do, when you come into our club, you do have 2 good clubs to pull from with tons of guys to work with. So in all weight classes from like 120 to like, you know, like the big boys with Neri. So if you can work up to those weight classes, 188 and up, you'll do great in the sport.
That's awesome.
Awesome.
Yeah. And Dallas is an immense city. So it's good to hear that we got more representation there. Not that
we always
Dallas
joke
Sumo Club is. Yeah, go ahead.
It's DFW, like the Metroplex
Fort
for
Worth.
us. Yeah, so people like, if you're in Austin, it's just Austin. If you're in
okay.
Houston, it's just Houston. But when you come to Dallas, it's Dallas Fort Worth. So it's like when they get here and you're new to the place, like you have to have a car because technically the city is from Fort Worth to the edge of Dallas, and that's like an hour drive.
Oh God, yeah.
All kind of go back and forth through.
Yeah, I drove down last weekend to go to the tournament. It's like, okay, so the event is like kind of right in the center of Fort Worth. Okay, here's the city limits. We still have like 50 minutes to go or something ridiculous. Yeah.
Yeah, it's wild.
But yeah, I just think it's cool. It's a metro that big. There's definitely room for multiple clubs, and Texas as a whole is the place to be for sumo. So it's great.
More
to have you guys on
competition.
the scene.
More competition.
Yeah,
I demand it.
We love the tournaments. So
There
that's
will
great.
be more. The next one in Texas is the Saturday before Labor Day in Austin. That will be the 2nd annual Consulates Cup, hosted
Dripping
at,
Springs, baby.
in Dripping Springs at Dreamland, the same place as 2021 Nationals. So I am looking forward.
We'll definitely be there.
Excellent.
Yeah, I am looking forward to see some Ronin Rikishi representation out there as well.
We'll
But
be there.
We will
But
come
yeah.
and sweat in the sun together because luckily it's in the shade, but it's still outside.
it's September, which in 2022 is like what, midsummer. So like,
Yeah,
it'll still be
for
plenty
Texas,
hot.
maybe.
For Texas, it's like really cold. It's like 85.
Yeah. Oh, man.
jeez.
If it hits 60 degrees here, like in Texas, I'm in like a full parka, a full full jacket.
You know what happens? You know what happens when it hits 0 degrees up in Iowa?
I don't even want to know.
I button my top button.
Exactly. That's what we might put on a sweatshirt, maybe.
I would be dead.
Yeah.
We enjoy it. We get used to it.
But the cold, it's something different.
Yeah.
I would appreciate it in a tournament setting, though. I'm gonna say it right now.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
The hot sweat, it's like even hotter sweat.
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, on the other hand, though, sumo's the right sport to play in the summer because you don't have to wear a whole lot.
Yeah, it was funny because one of like the Egyptian guys that he fought one of my guys, Jose.
Yeah.
And he was from one of the Egypt teams, which is pretty cool. And but I had my like 300-pound cooler with like 8 bags of ice.
Mm-hmm.
But I also have a handheld shower that it's like a pump that's like it charges, and it's a handheld shower. So I was giving like a bunch of the guys like a quick ice bath to kind of bring their temps down.
Cool them down.
They needed that, especially in the later weight classes when we were hitting like 3-4 p.m.
Yeah, once it started hitting 4 o'clock, I just turned the fan off. I was like, it's so hot.
This isn't even helping. Yeah.
I would say that next time we need to get a picture at the beginning, because I'm pretty sure that doesn't even show half the guys that were there.
Yeah.
I know like our other club headed out like right after like their Neri was done, they headed out to go eat, but we stayed the whole time because of Jose. And we finally got the picture at the end. So I said, we do the picture, just do it ahead of time.
It's a solid picture, but yeah, it's one of those things that like we always think about like at the last minute, like, oh crap, we get everybody in, we got to do a group picture.
Yeah, I see the picture made your newsletter. That's why, and that's pretty awesome too.
Yeah, that was
yeah,
great.
No, that was it is a good one, but you're right. We got maybe like 60% of the people in it.
Yeah, it was 60%. To let everybody know,
Yeah.
It was a great turnout though.
It was probably one of the bigger club turnouts that we've gotten so far, and it's only going up from here. So
I was about to say more in the future,
I
more to
think
come.
We'll bring about 10 guys to this next tournament.
Oh, sweet.
Including girls, maybe like 3-4 girls.
Okay.
Excellent.
This one
try to
was
stack the deck this time.
This one was officially 36. So if you guys bring 6 more than you did, then we're hitting 40. So we're getting.
We're gonna try to stack the deck this time. I don't know if we'll get first, second, third, but we'll definitely
absolutely
do it.
Well, thanks so much for joining us, Julian Sanchez of Ronin Rikishi. And yes, find them on Instagram if you are in Dallas, Fort Worth, and looking for another place to train sumo. one of the hottest and quickest growing new clubs in Texas. So thanks
Definitely.
again for joining us. It's been a blast.
And thank you for your content, guys. I appreciate what y'all do.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Thank you for listening to Grand Sumo Breakdown. Until next time,
Throw your salt high.
and keep moving forward.